Hi, you're with Scott. It's Mental Health Monday. It's Monday, it's 8 PM GMT. It's midnight, it's always midnight. This is your right ear. This is your left ear. So don't just do an introduction these days, do a whole 8 minutes shilling. But I'm Ganji Kid, this is Ganji Kid the Stream. Hello. I'm also Scott, aren't I? I'm Scott. I make media. If you go on YouTube, you'll see Mental Health Monday there. That's what we're doing today. It's Monday, every Monday, 8 PM GMT, Mental Health Monday. That's our YouTube channel for that. It's got videos on it. Loads of them. If you're worried about coming to Mental Health Monday and talking in chat, don't worry. You can always talk in chat. We can always just do whatever, talk to you about your issues. That's always easy to do. We can always put off what we're doing today for another day. And we make these videos, so if you want to talk about something in chat and we edit it into a little video, it might appear as a little video, or usually we edit today's whole episode a bit neater, put it up on here as a whole episode, so you'll have a back catalogue here of the things we've done. There's some really interesting videos about particular themes. So we've got Are You Depressed? Take the quiz. 2 weeks before your exam, a checklist. Secret of Mindful Eating, grief is a big one there, grief, that's a big video. We've also got other channels, because Ganji Kid, that's who I am, what we are, what we're doing. Everything on the streams, unedited, uploaded as VODs. You can watch the whole, everything we've ever done on stream, uploaded, unedited, stream VODs, videos on demand. You can also click Ganji Cuts if you want edited things of the good things. That's edited, and it's the good things. That's worth a little check in and subscribe to. And Art Chat, which is the same principle, but when I talk about art or culture or review a game, that goes there. We've also got a Ganji Clips channel. Does what it says on the tin. It's little clips of what we do. Today's Mental Health Monday. We also say at the start, the Samaritans in the UK, 116-123-43. So it's a free phone number, and if you feel like I'm just chuffing on, you don't want to type in chat, but you're feeling down and you need to talk to someone, and because every week I do something different here. Sometimes we talk about history, sometimes we talk about current affairs, sometimes we do a deep dive on a subject. It might not be the day that we're doing the thing that you need to hear. So maybe you could call the Samaritans if you feel like you need to get someone on the end of the phone right now. It's free in the UK, and that's the same for America. It's 1-800-273-8255. Same principle. Get someone on the phone, have a chat to them. It's a free phone number. They do it in Spanish. I don't do Spanish. So what we're going to do tonight, we've got the history of mental health illness, which we've been looking at, and we are up to talking about asylums. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about the introduction of asylums. But we've been doing history for a couple of weeks, and I wanted to make sure that we did, how do I explain this? Like, if our focus on Mental Health Monday veers toward the history of mental health, it's an interesting topic, it's interesting, but it takes us away from the day-to-day, I'm feeling down, what sort of support and help can you give me? That sort of mechanic of Mental Health Monday, which is important. It's important. So if I do history every week for 6 weeks, we get a lot of interesting history episodes. But I noticed that people literally came into stream and said, I'm feeling down. So maybe my history of mental health isn't what they expect to see when they, do you know what I'm saying? So I thought we'd do a little bit about, I'm feeling down. How can you help? I thought we'd key back into that, punctuate. We'll talk about history later tonight if we have time. But I thought we'd punctuate our episodes with this main point of, I'm feeling down, how can I help? So we're going to look at peer support, and we also need for me to use my brain. We've got this is, you see it down there in the corner, Coffeecom Ganji. So this is using my brain, it's like Tippy Chippies on Twitch, but you sign into coffee.com and you tippy chippy me there, and it comes up on the screen here, ding. You see it's working, it's got its little icon down the bottom there, it's working. It comes up on the screen, ding, and it works even while it's offline. So if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can use that link to tipping me, so that's why we're using this. It's good. But also Twitch take 50%, YouTube take their cut on YouTube, whatever, the AdSense, whatever. This coffee, they don't take a cut. I get all of the tippies. So if you want to support what we're doing, you can just go straight there and just buy me a little coffee, or even more, even more if you feel like it. And that's your route to doing that in the future. Hopefully you can still do the Twitch thing. I'm still eternally grateful for the tippies and chippies. We're not getting AdSense revenue off YouTube because we haven't got enough views and whatever subscribers on the channels yet. That's fine. But this thing is like direct, and I get it's I like it a bit better because no one else is taking a cut. So yeah, so that's coffee.com. That's what you're seeing on the screen down there. Limmy does it. Am I an asshole if I get triggered when noisy family members ask personal questions? First time chat from a viewer. Hello, nice to have you here. I'm great at reading names. I'm so great at it. It could be Dakine, or it could be Dakine, or it could be Dakini. Dakine. I'm going to say Dakine. If I didn't have the DA, I'd say Keen. Anyway, am I an asshole if I get triggered when nosy family members ask personal questions? Absolutely not. No. You're not an asshole. Definitely not. Dakine. I mean, it's hard to... She knows. It's hard to know how to read out things that are spelled. It's weird with family. I mean, I might be not an expert because my family is a bit dysfunctional, but then maybe that makes me a good expert because maybe everyone's family is a bit dysfunctional. But it's weird that I've been to situations... I used to be a hairdresser and I've worked with people all the time, and I've been in situations where I've asked quite personal questions and talked quite personally about things, and then gone home and thought, wow, I'm not exactly going to bring up those sort of things around the dinner table with my family, am I? But I've just done that with that almost a stranger, new friend, just person I know over a period of time. Just done that there with that person. Like, sometimes it's easier in a way to talk about certain things with people who have no vested interest, and sometimes it's more difficult. I'll tell you something that's more difficult with families is it comes preloaded with, they've already got these ideas and these themes and things that they think about you or you should work on, or problems or positives or whatever. They've already preloaded with things, and then they're coming to you, and your uncle keeps trying to pry about your business. I let go of my job. I'm no interest in telling people. I got to let go of my job. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. So one thing at a time. The first thing is, I understand that if things aren't going positively in your life, you don't want to shout about that. You're not making Twitter posts and Instagrams about, hey, today I lost my job and things are bad. So I don't feel like sharing. Yeah, I get that. I think it's absolutely acceptable to go in a bit of a cocoon for a bit of a time, to recharge and refuel. The word shame kind of comes into it, but to realise again, because you feel like a little bit undervalued, don't you? A little bit, massively undervalued if you've lost your job or if you've been let go for it. It might not be that it's a question of your value. It might be a question of other factors like the economy and some other crap like that. But, ultimately, you feel undervalued. You feel like there's some kind of... like, it's not a positive to be sharing this news. Like, there's some sort of shame. I don't want to say you should feel ashamed because you don't have to feel ashamed. That's silly. But... it's not silly to feel ashamed. So then if someone's going to ask you questions about it, this is going to create a vibe in you. And then, like you said, this negativity, it's almost like with family sometimes, like they're preloaded for an argument that they want to win, or that they're preloaded for a way of you being that makes them feel more comfortable because it's the normal day-to-day. Like, could you imagine if you just turned up in a completely bright red track, or maybe red's a bad colour for American audiences, but a bright green tracksuit and a bright green hat, and all your car was green. I like green, you see. And like you said, right, from now on, everything's green, and I'm really into green. I'm only going to eat green food. I'm into spinach. And like, they'd be like, this isn't you. This isn't you. This is a bit strange. This is a bit weird. I'm going to argue about this, and I'm going to say, hang on, are you sure you like green? Because you didn't like green yesterday. I'm not sure you like spinach. Can't you go back to being you? The you that I understand. The you that makes me feel comfortable. And that's just a change of colour of car and hairstyle, and but we've all been there. Changed our hairstyle and our parents hate it, or done something a bit different and gets criticism from the people that love us. And like, what? But they're used to us in a certain way, and it makes them feel more comfortable. We get into these arguments that never end, that make them feel comfortable about who they are and who you are, and it's like hard to break out of that. Sometimes family have a funny way of showing they love you. Yeah, they continue to do it because they definitely love you. They definitely love you. But yeah, I think Snips is right. They've got they don't know exactly how to let their love best support you. But having said all that, it's great that someone cares. Even if it turns, like, I have this with a member of my family, that things can turn into an argument. And what I tend to do, I'm not an expert, again, I'm not an expert, so this is probably not the best mental health advice, but I tend to say, right, this is turning into one of them. This is turning into one of those circle conversations where we're not going to win. I don't want to be cross, you don't want to be cross. That's it. It doesn't get rewarded with, oh, that sounds good to me. That's a good. They like the argument sometimes. They enjoy it. It's part of their normality soap opera. Gave some good advice that time. Yeah, like the other thing is you can't control them and who they are, and the fact that you can see that and understand it. It has to be used as a jumping off point for you to again. First of all, you've understood it, so that's important, because you can't change behaviours unless you understand them. You can't change their behaviours unless they want to and understand them either. So they might be a bit more of a lost cause, but you can understand it. You can, so it doesn't have to hurt as much because you can understand. I mean, we're all confused people. We've all been brought up through this system that everyone's parents were imperfect, and everyone's parents before that were imperfect. So give them a little bit of a break for not being perfect, and give them a 10 points for caring. The bottom line motivation is it's better that they're asking and than nobody's asking. Do you know what I mean? That's better. And maybe some of these things that we're talking about now, maybe if you said preface things that you say to them with, I understand this might make you feel cross. Certainly one of the things that we talk about in Mental Health Monday a lot, and this is, I'm going to just ramble, okay, but it's just going to happen. In Mental Health Monday, we talk about empathy a lot, and when you are the one that's suffering, it's hard for me to say to you, why don't you be more empathetic? Because that's just silly. It's like me being mean to you to say that. But you're the one in this situation that's got that extra gift. You already understand their workings. You're already explaining the way they work. You can see that. So it's frustrating because it's not how a perfect, person would respond, but at least you can see it and understand it. You've gained control because you can choose when you engage. At the moment, I'm not going to engage, so we're not going to have this argument. But you kind of do want to talk to them, I'm feeling, because otherwise you wouldn't care. You just wouldn't talk to them and it wouldn't be a question. But you want them to give you the kind of comforting, coaching response that you feel you deserve, rather than the knee-jerk, why don't you get a job, chuffing job, chuffer, that they so comfortably will react with. So maybe there's a way of saying, like, and this is because you're the empathetic person, so you say, I understand that you're going to feel angry when I tell you this. And that gets them going, doesn't it? That gets them going straight away. They love that. What do you mean I'm going to be angry? They start and they get into the angry. So you say, hang on, I haven't even said anything yet. So and don't point. I'm not the perfect person at this. Sometimes it's really helpful to have a third person mediator. Sometimes it's really helpful to have a third person, someone that knows they can get a bit edgy and knows that you need to get a job. That is a bit on both sides, that can be a bit, in the middle there to stop it from exploding. But if you've said, like, I'm worried about talking about this because you're going to shout at me, you're going to say I need to get a job, and you're going to say this and this and this, and I understand those things. Like, I feel that too, and that's why I'm upset about it. Then maybe from that start point, then they can't, maybe they will, I don't know, but maybe they can't then go, but you don't know, because you've just said it. I'll refer you back to my point one. I agree with you. I agree with you. It's just that I'm not going to shout at myself. I really don't feel at this point in my life that beating me up over it is going to improve the way I approach the problem. And certainly, this is a big one. This is a huge one. This is a big one. That I'm just going to have to change Epic's logo because we're not talking about Epic anymore, are we? Hang on. There you go. This is a massive one. Is that you don't learn that behaviour from them and repeat it in yourself, in your own psyche. Because it's so easy to hear the voices that you've been trained to hear that have been talking to you all your life. So when you lose that job, you hear this attitude and anger that's going to be coming from these people you love. So it already makes you feel anxious and unhappy. There's some of the shame. There's where it comes from. Other people's judgments, you already add them up in your mind. They're going to have to just be balloons that you just let go. You know, you're just going to have to be balloons. We're going to have to just let all that go. It's just not going to help any of us. So teaching the people that you love, like teaching your uncle to let them go as well, much harder, much harder, much more difficult. That's his journey. But briefing him on your feelings.
Hell yes. Takes the pressure off of me.
And that's Kurt Cobain as guest by Snippies. So there's no quiz anymore. We all know it's Kurt Cobain now. I'm gonna have to. I shouldn't keep saying it though because I haven't got the copyright for any of his voice. But I put a little bit of effect on it, so it was like for Snippies wins. Yeah, she wins. You're not apologising. You let them know how I feel. They just play victim. Yeah. Okay. And the thing is, right, coming back to that, I agree with that as well. Their reaction though, because you like, let's put a pin in that thing. Let's say, right, I've used that wrong. I'm not American, so I don't know what it means exactly. It probably means let's not talk about it anymore. But what I mean is, let's put it up there on the pinboard and examine it. Right? Is that if you are predicting their behaviour, then what tends to happen if you're... It's so easy to let this just spiral down this pathway is, I'm predicting what I want them to do. Like, how do I explain this so deep? I need to get deep on it. I know what they're going to say, so I'm preloaded with what I should say back. It's like, I want them to say that almost. It's like I want them to say that because this is like I said earlier, it's the normality of the soap opera. I know how to behave in that situation. That's a behaviour that I've lived. That's a groove that I've trodden until it's muscle memory. So it's comfortable, and it's psychologically comfortable and comforting, even if it's destructive and mentally. And it's because, and this is a big part of it, it's because it's not your fault. It's how things were done around you when you were young. It's how you were learning in the world to see the world, and this is how these patterns have been created. And then you're the person that's got the strength and the strength and the introspective perception to break that cycle. So there's a fantastic thing. But if you go preloaded with this is what they're going to do, and like it's almost like a magnetic pull that it's going to happen that way. So we have to be able to say, I'm going to write down in my nice words what I hope they don't do, and the reasons I think they might. I'm going to preload it with them and say, look, you're going to feel these things, and like, I get it. You know, at least I get it. We're going to make them understand that we understand them. So they don't have to shout at us. They don't have to yell. We know it's already there. We've got it written down almost. Like, if you want to do it on a piece of paper and not talk to them, that might even help. But between us, what we have to achieve, or I've got this problem. I don't want to talk about me, but I've got this problem in my life with my dad. It's the same thing. Like, our communication is a problem, and the end goal is that I love him and he loves me, and we want us to both enjoy our lives, and specifically he wants me to be productive and successful. He's a bit confused about how to make that happen. But if you're just starting on that, it's really important to be on the same team. It's really important. These people that we're talking about, not just your uncle, but my dad, but all these people that do this to us, is that they're on the same team, but it's almost as if they're not, isn't it? It's almost as if they're like, if things were going well, they'd find something to point at and say, this needs improving, this isn't good enough. Because like their role in the team is to be needed to I don't know. I've been a bit like that in myself in my life, a bit curmudgeonly, but yeah, we're just having a bit of a rant. But so our role in the team is to be, I don't want to say passive, but I don't want to incite, like I say, we're the one with the insight that can break that chain. We're the one with the wisdom to at least try a different approach. And so if we can show them that we're trying, and also the key in all that is to show them that we understand their concern and that we agree with it, because we want the same thing ultimately, long term. If you pan back enough, you know, I want my boundaries, and when I try to enforce it, they'll gaslight. And if you think you can see that happening, beautiful, because you can say, okay, you know, this is not helping me anymore. So like, there's a line drawn. Like, not going to listen to it. It's sad if it's happening. But you're not there to fix the nature of the support network. You can explain it to them. You can put it out there in the open and say, I think this is what's happening. Try and use, like, it's really hard when you have to use words that seem confrontational. But if you can say, it would make me sad if you were to, gaslight's probably a word that they're going to, gaslight, I don't like that word. But, you know, if you're going to, you know, invent difficulties in your mind about me, that's going to make me sad. Can we, you know, I don't know. I think ultimately, bottom line is that you have to feel, you don't have to feel anything. You can feel some comfort knowing that you're the one with the wisdom, and that these people bring these difficulties to your life because they love you, and that you're lucky to have people who care enough, even through their own confusion, to, I want to say reach, I'm going to say lash, to lash out, to reach out. You know, it's the same, your hand ends up over there, whether you're grabbing hold of someone or whether you're reaching it out in a more you know, comforting way. There's something in that, isn't there? They want to help, and your wisdom enables you to. Everything in life is waves. They're going to do this thing, right? Imagine this. The phone's just gone off. It's you. I'm you. We're all the same. I'm you. You're me. We live together for eternity. The phone's just gone off. Hello? Oh, it's a relative of mine, and they're going to be mean to me. Well, why are you being mean to me? Oh, have you had a couple of drinks and you feel it's your place to tell me what's wrong in my life? Well, I'm not. I'm currently doing Mental Health Monday. I'm trying really hard to make things better, not just for me, but for other people. It's not even work. What do you mean it's not even work? I'm working quite hard. This week I went on the internet and found out all this stuff about this care people, and, you know, tried to make sure I was giving legitimate advice for somebody that was having problems. Sorry, I know. I didn't realise that what I was saying was boring you. No, I don't want to get up in the morning at 9 o'clock and go on the building site. And it's not that it's me that's causing an argument between us, but no, I'm not saying it's you. And, you know, we've got there. we've got there. And it's just come out of nowhere. So that makes me feel like. This is fine. It's simply some trigger. Just absolutely fine. What that shows is that you've got emotions that we all I remember that I've been on the phone. Remember that. I'm going to come back to that. We've all got emotions, right? And our emotions are not helpful for our day-to-day functioning in the way society works. We've not been trained and treated as emotional beings. We've been trained and treated as productive work beings. Like, specifically about job now, you're now free from that. You don't have to hold anything in at work. You're free from it. Suddenly it's all going to bubble up and want to come out because you're not having to suppress it. It actually is not constructive for us always to be hyper emotional. Fine, but we are hyper emotional beings, and we've got ways of dealing with it. So what we do is we let it out in the right, I say the right times, as things come and we feel them, and we feel that and say, oh, that's quite a powerful emotion, I'm going to let that pass. Or sometimes unnaturally, subconsciously, whatever, we push that down. Don't want to look at that now, can't think about that. And then later on when you're watching the film and someone says something on the film, then it's coming out now. Oh, where's that come from? Oh, it was just there all the time, I just forgot that I was putting it in my backpack for later. That's fine, that's natural. When it comes up, feel it, because I tell you what, it's beautiful that you feel things, because that's being human. If you were just some sort of Elon Musk artificial robot, if you're an artificial intelligence and nothing happened, then no feelings, no bubbling up, no crying, no overwhelming senses, then that'd be bad. You would be missing out on the true essence of life, and even the difficult times, even the pain. You reflect on those things in the future, and that's what is strength. That's what strength is, being able to reflect on those things and say, wow, I came through that. Look at how far we've come. And so it's good that you feel these things. So there you go, it's gifty sub. It's a happy day. So the point I wanted to make that is connected to this is we've been on the phone now, and someone's We'll talk about your trigger about being, cannot find a job, lazy. We'll talk about that, solving your problems thing, one thing at a time, right? I just wanted to make this point because it's important, is that the person calls, your uncle calls, we've had the bad. It's made me feel like shit, because I feel like I'm a loser. I feel like I can't get a job. I feel like I can't solve my own problems, because this person on the end of the phone has just turned the volume up on that concept. They've just dragged me back. Like before that person phoned me up, I was in Mental Health Monday world. I've got my coloured lights. I'm inventing my own future. I'm creating my own story about who I am and what I feel. I'm choosing which thoughts and feelings to grab hold of and fly with. I'm not letting someone else put things in my backpack. Someone's just called me up and they just put a load of stuff in my backpack. It's taken me back to when I was 16 and they said this, and that time that they wouldn't let me play football on the thing and when I had to go in the back of the car and the people, do you know what I mean? It's bringing up those things. You can't help it. You're just a human. You've just grown up through a system that is imperfect. We all are lucky in so many ways. I didn't grow up in Iraq and someone didn't blow up my house, and it's lucky in so many ways, but at the same time, it's not perfect. So, you've got these natural human instincts and issues, and then something's come in, put it all in your backpack, brought it all up. It's like waves, your feelings, your emotions. You don't feel the same now as you did 2 hours ago, and you don't feel the same now as you did when you lost your job, and you don't feel the same way as the day you got your job. Like, all days are different, and if you look back across it, there's like a wave pattern. I felt happy, I felt sad, I was really enthusiastic about this. I went to that football match and really enjoyed myself. And then a few weeks when my dog died, I was like right down here and crying, and I didn't even want to face the world and go out like that. I've lost jobs. I know exactly how you feel. You don't want to, you feel like an idiot. Like you said, an idiot's a good job. Like why have I fucked this up again? It's not you, it's the rest of them. It's the system that isn't perfectly suited to your particular flair. But when you find your particular flair, you're going to say, thank God I didn't stay at that job, because if I'd still been doing that, then I would never have found this. It's just that society would rather that you just shut up and just got your head down and just got on with it for whatever. Go and do whatever and just shut up and get on with it. Society's happy, you're not, But for you, you're going to keep searching. Fine, that's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's a world of opportunity, and there are so many wonderful things that you have in the back of your mind that you wished you could, or that you admire, or you want to be it's your chance to go for them. You're going to recuperate, you're going to recharge, you're going to set an agenda, and you're going to day by day start crossing off some goals. We'll talk about it in Mental Health Monday in the future. I'm going to make a note, because I've got another friend who jobs, I'm just writing it down there, jobs, roles. We talked about this with another friend the other day, about how you make a little week by week, like if you want to become a clothes designer, let's just say you want to become a clothes designer, You want to make some clothes and sell some clothes and be a clothes designer. Week 1, you're not going to be setting up your catwalk. Like, that's not going to happen on week 1. No one did. So that's fine. Week 1, I'm going to need to learn what I even need. Do I need scissors? Do I need paper? Do I need a computer program? Week 1, I'm going to learn what I need. Week 2, I'm going to buy the first item or go to the first class or sign up for the first class or whatever the thing is that I need to, step 1. By the end of the first month, I want to have at least designed my own first jacket. That might be too much. I don't know, because I'm not educated. So by the end of the first month, I want to be educated enough to know how to set a goal. And then I'm going to set that goal. And then by the end of the year, I'm going to have at least made some trousers, or I'm going to have at least designed my first thing, or I'm going to have at least, I don't need to go to every college course. Maybe I can find it on YouTube. Maybe I don't need to go to the avant-garde school of London economics. Maybe I can go to my local night school, or whatever it is. I'm going to set myself a little step by step, so that at the end of the year I can look back and say, you know what, I'm halfway there now, or I'm a tenth of the way there. And it's for me, and it's for what I want, for what you want, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter if you don't end up, like, if I want to be Kurt Cobain and a rock star, and I spend the next year writing songs and recording them, and I don't eat much, I have to write in a way of earning a little bit. I have to write in a way of making it sustainable, supporting itself. Maybe I play gigs, maybe I busk, maybe I teach kids how to play guitar. Whatever it is, you write in that thing that so that you can, and then, yeah, exactly. You don't need to do it in one day. Exactly. You just want to have, if you can say to yourself, this week while I'm walking the dog, or while I'm out and taking my time, or I'm going to start, that's my weekly thought goal. So where do I want to be? What sort of thing do I want to do? That's all. And then, like, at the end of next week, we're going to say, okay, so at the end of the first week is, let's have a thought goal. And at the end of the next week, let's start choosing which is the first step on those thought goals. At the end of the third week, just every week, let's just do some step by step, so that you're going in that direction. And then everything can be okay. Everything can be okay. So I've written down about jobs and roles, and I've just had a little go about that. We had the person on the phone, feeling like you're an idiot. Feeling like you're an idiot. There's a number of ways to unpack this. One is that we are all idiots, don't you? Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm here on the internet and I'm an idiot. Like, I'm not a total put the pizza. Everyone's put the pizza in with the polystyrene on underneath by accident once or twice, haven't they? So twice is bad. Once is an accident. Twice is bad. But we've all done stupid things. I've got qualifications. I ran my own hairdressing salon, but there were days that I forgot my scissors, or it doesn't matter who. Like, my prime minister in the UK is an absolute chuffing idiot. Am I still in sync? I look like I'm out of sync. Am I still in sync? Absolute chuffing idiot. No, I'm in sync. It's all right. So there's that. There's that to cheer yourself up with. We're all idiots. But it's not just that. It's that I actually believe deep down that, like I was saying earlier, that the world is not set up for beautiful, passionate, interesting, diverse people to explode on the scene and be like, it looks like it is. It looks like on Instagram you could just, I take my pictures and now I'm famous and everyone loves me. It's not like that. It's not really. It's the world's designed to try and make you have to grind it out, and it's designed to beat you down, isn't it? It's not designed to. It's inbuilt in the design. Like, that's not all the world anyway. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not you that's the idiot. It's the world's not perfect. And if things, like, deep down in your heart, if things weren't going well at that workplace, or if that task wasn't what you were going to, excel at, then it wasn't right for you, and that's okay. That's okay. Thing is, losing my job, I had to move back with my stepmom, who are like allies with me, and don't know how to communicate me either, but I carry my weight here. Swings around, ups and downs, isn't it? I personally have lived with I'm pointing at her, she's not here, I can't, she's not in the room, she's in a different room, she's upstairs, or over there in a different room. She lives here, and I live here, and I'm lucky that I don't have the overheads of rent. But there are other overheads that are like emotional overheads that go into it. And I have to go and lift things in and out of the car and do this and that. But also, at the same time, you know what? There's a lot of positives that I'm lucky. Like we have, like I said, a dysfunctional family. So I missed out on certain aspects in childhood. And I don't think it's, you know, we get on all right. It's working. It's fine. Long term, you know, if I was given £1 million and buy my own house, wouldn't I? But we're lucky to have those family support networks. You know, we're lucky. So when it's difficult, you have to just refer to the lucky part again. And yeah, in terms of being on their team, we're going back to that again, aren't we? Of that that concept of teams is like we've got a natural way of being ganging up on each other as human beings, haven't we? And what's weird about it is you put us in a small group like a family and we still do. We're supposed to, and we do, and we really are. You see it on the telly with the nice ones who play Trivial Pursuit and all have orange juice in nice glasses and, you know, don't shout at each other and yell and who's got my this and I'm not talking to them and, like, you know, the nice ones, you know, they're all on the same team, aren't they? They're all on the same team. But we're all on the same team. I'm on the same team as you. We're on the human team. And this is the problem of humanity, is like, if we could work this chuffing thing out of not being mean to each other because we're on the same team, for God damn it. But yeah, like I think deep down, if you you know, like when you're playing a game, like, because I play games, we're on the internet, we play we play all the computer games on here on a regular weekday that's not Mental Health Monday, but on a computer game, sometimes you pause it, don't you? Sometimes you can pause it, and I do a lot when I'm playing games, and I talk about them when I pause it. Oh, so this is like this, and if I couldn't pause it, then I wouldn't be able to do the review. I wouldn't be able to talk about how it made me feel, because it wouldn't be on pause. It'd be happening. So when family life is happening, when someone's busy and then they've got to do this, and we get under each other's feet because, you know, ideally you want your space when you want your space. You can't determine that. I didn't know I was going to feel like I want my space now, but suddenly I do. And there's nothing I can do about it because, you know, lo and behold, there are people around. I've got to walk a doggy in a few hours, in an hour. I've got to walk a doggy, and that's not going to change even if I want my space. But, you know, the day-to-day spreads some news even when I tell her not to. I'll point on that as well. The day-to-day back and forth of it, that's the thing you can't pause and have a think. Because if you did pause, if you could just, like, you know, stop that there and both step outside it, like, it's a bit like Jeremy Kyle, isn't it, this? Like, but both step outside it and then say, look down there at us. Why are you being mean to me? Because I like you. You like me. We're on the same team. But if you look at us behaving like that, we don't look like we're on the same. We recorded our Fortnite gameplay the other day, me and my sister, and you know, when I watch it back sometimes, I'm like, if people didn't know that was my sister, they would assume that we didn't like each other, and they would assume that she really wasn't, like, she was being quite mean to me. But I didn't feel that she was being mean to me because I'm so used to it by now. But actually, it's because it's your family. You get, you know, you do this extra, you do it more even. Because, I don't know, some reason your family let you get away with it more. I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? But if you step outside it, if you stepped outside it and, you know, someone else walked past and said, oh, you don't like him, do you? She'd say, get off, I love him, he's my brother. You know, but they'd say, but you were shouting at him. And she'd go, well, I suppose, you know, now I can see it from the outside, maybe I won't do it as much. Maybe it feels, when I'm in it and doing it, I don't feel like I'm being mean, but I don't see it because I'm, you know, there's that. And in spreading rumours and news, again, it's this thing of, if she didn't care about you, she wouldn't say anything at all. She just wouldn't be bothered to say it. It just wouldn't come up because you're not on her mind. So, in a way, I actually do think that there's like a whole generation, boomers, there's like a whole generation of people just slightly older than us. Not us, just the people older than us, not us. We're enlightened, aren't we? We saw the changes filter into actual society. We've seen it on Twitter where, when I grew up, people would call each other gay as a derogatory term. And I was on a computer game the other day, a multiplayer game, and someone was trolling, like this Russian guy was trolling these kids, and he was like, "Oh, are you gay, oh, gay?" And I said, I said to him, like, what a ridiculous thing to say, because like gay is not an insult. It's like just saying to somebody, "What are you, like, rich, successful, happy?" Like, what do you mean gay? Like, if you like, okay, so you can be gay, and it's like it's not insulting in any way. It's lost all, like, the way I honestly feel about it. It's lost all insulting connotations. And if someone were to say to me, like, "Are you gay?" It's like saying, "Are you thirsty?" Or no, it's different, isn't it? Thirsty is a different kind of concept, but it doesn't, like, when it doesn't have any weight of any, like it just makes me think about the person who's trying to use it as an insult. Well, you've not kept up with things, have you? You've not kept up with things. You know that people don't care about that anymore. You know that they think you're the wanker, don't you? You know, just by saying it like that and trying to make it sound insulting, it makes you sound like an idiot, but none of us feel bad. We just feel sorry for you that you're an idiot. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. At least they care. So this generation of, like, people who, maybe it's not generational, maybe it's something to do with society, but they know that they care. They want to help. They want to be supportive, but they can't in some way. Maybe it's something to do with competition. Maybe it's something to do with capitalism and competition and who's better than who and who's right and all this crap. But instead of just being like, "Look, I care and I want to help. How can I?" Let's work on it from that angle. They've got this motivation. They've got this burning drive. It's you. They're talking about you. They're spreading the word, the rumour. They want to talk about you. They want to be able to fix it. Maybe they've got some sort of pipe blockage. Maybe they've got some sort of knot in the wires that doesn't allow them to just access that emotion and speak it out. Maybe saying, "I love you and I'm upset and worried because I'm worried things are going badly for you." Maybe just saying that just doesn't come out. So instead what comes out is, "Have you heard about so-and-so? They've said this and so-and-so," and trying to get someone else to get involved. Think about the motivation, trying to get someone else to get involved. "I need help with this problem because I'm confused. Can you help me? What's the problem? It's how I feel about you. I'm upset and worried." But instead of being able to say that, they're like, something that's dramatic, something that's going to get attention. Because they're the mechanisms they've learned. Do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't got this this toolkit. We're not taught this toolkit of just, I'm not an expert at this. I can say it, I can name it here on this microphone, but God forbid I would then go in the kitchen and tell my mom that I love her. Do you know what I mean? But because you can see it, because you can see it, and because you know that deep down that's what's driving it, it's got to be taken as a good thing. It makes you feel bad. Remember, Dad just called me up. My dad doesn't actually call me up. He doesn't actually call me up. So, like, it's a funny example to me. Like, a member of our family has to die in order for my dad to call me, right? So, and that's not a joke. That's the truth, right? But I call him sometimes, not so often, because I've learned it from him. But he called me up, remember, and it was horrible. You know, my little example. You've had your uncle telling you. Like, I put the phone down, I feel bad. It's there, I feel bad. I want to shout at so-and-so, I want to tell someone thing. But I remember that everything passes. Yesterday, whatever I felt yesterday is not how I feel now. It's impossible for me to pick up yesterday's feelings and just drop them straight in my head, like, bang, I'm back to being angry again. Unless it really is, like you said, a trigger, unless there's a trigger. But Dad's just triggered me, now I feel angry. That's possible. So I'm not in control of that. What I am in control of is just saying, hang on, give this 10 minutes and I'm not going to feel like this. Do you know what? If I just boot up my Xbox and go through what's new on Xbox Live Marketplace, by the time I've scanned through the games and decided which has got 4 stars and 5 stars, I'm going to have forgotten what I was being angry about, because feelings just pass. And whilst I want to keep hold of it, it's like these Amazon parcels going past on the conveyor belt or whatever. You want to keep hold of this one. I want to keep hold of that. I want to be angry. I've got things in me that have been taught, I've been knotted up, I've been tied up with that plug into this and work with this, and I can carry that one. No, I'm just going to put that down. Just going to put it down. I'm going to look at something else. I'm going to do something else. I'm not even going to react, because I know that the reaction without thinking is what they want, and that's what leads us down this chuffing bad pathway. When he's on the phone, I'm not even going to... I'll be like, all right, I can see this is going badly. For some reason, the things I say naively, trying to not be reactive, end up sounding reactive. You think I'm being reactive. It's okay. Oh, now I'm feeling bad. So I'm going to have to let that go. Everything will pass. That's why they talk so much about meditation. And I know it's a load of chuff, isn't it? What are you going to do? Sit down and think of nothing? Oh, that's going to solve all my problems. That's going to solve... recently we had Remembrance Sunday, and all the different... they have... For the Remembrance Sunday in the UK, remembering the war dead, all the different people line up in their suits, all the politicians, black suits. They've all got black suits on. It's Remembrance Sunday. It's black. Is the, it's like formal. The royal family are there. They're all wearing black. Everyone's wearing black. The soldiers are in black. And then the members of the dignitaries from the churches and the different religions come out, and they add a bit of colour. They don't give a chuff. They're supposed to be the most respectful, and they don't even wear black. The Pope's in his... He's not the Pope, he's the Bishop or whatever. He's in his purple. Then you've got the one from the more Catholic church. He's in deeper red. Like, God loves... Like, God didn't wash my colours out in the wash. Deeper red. You've got the... I don't know what they are, the Coptics or the Baptists or something. Some of them are in pure white with the funny hats. And I'm like, that's disrespectful, isn't it? Pure white. Everyone's in black. It's Remembrance Day. Everyone's in... It's the war dead. You just because you're in... I mean, God would allow you to wear a more appropriate colour for the service, do you not think? I know you're the bishop. I know it's your badge of honour, your funny hat. Just take your hat off for the dead. Everyone else takes their hat off for the war dead. Take your hat off for the war dead. The Pope, the bishop, he just keeps his hat on. I'm like, take that off. It's God would understand. And then so they had a bit of colour, but we just had that. I'm getting a bit lost in my distractions now, but oh yeah, the Buddhists were there. That was it. The Buddhists didn't even wear shoes, and like the head Buddhist, the top Buddhist in the country, who was representing with all the other, he was just there in his robes, like his sacking robes. I know that's the point, but this is a respectable day. You could at least try and dress up a bit, just for the respectable day, just for the one day, wear the shoes. But the Buddhists, everything's nothing, isn't it? Everything's meaningless. Just meditate. Think of nothing and everything will be okay. Well, it's not, in my opinion, it's not a strategy for life, but knowing what to hold on to and what to let go of, and being equipped with, again, we're not taught this as kids, being equipped with a means to let go of things. You can only choose how much energy to direct in whatever direction. And if you just spent 2 hours arguing with someone over something that really, you both have the same aim, you both have the same objective, you both want the same sort of thing to happen, and instead of your energies being focused and guided to making it happen, it's turned into a big argument, no one's happy. You have the power, you know this now, to not engage, to not fuel the argument and be great. It's sad because you want to have these people in your life and to share things with them, but you know that it's going to cause these arguments. The only other way, like we've suggested, is to preempt it and say, here are the reasons that I think you might be unhappy. I'm expecting this sort of response from you. Please don't do that, because I don't think it's going to help any of us. In fact, I love you, so even though I'm worried that you're going to be mean to me, and being mean to me makes me feel bad, bear in mind, even though that's going to happen, I still am going to tell you. But then I'm going to have to just, give it some space and some time so that you can feel it, work it out in your own mind before coming back to me with a plan. Because I don't want it to be all up in the air straight away. It's not a war. We've not got any deadlines. We just want to, feel it, think it, work it out, process it. And like I said, personally to you, when these things are dragging you down, and you've got a battle to go on now, you've got a fight to go on, haven't you? You've got a we've all got the whole world. That's the point. It's a struggle, isn't it? It's a struggle. So you've got to fight your way through this struggle. And the point you're at, you've said it to us, so I'm going to listen to what you say and just completely agree with you that you don't want to go out and I don't want to write on Facebook and tell everyone and be interviewed about, oh, so, you're at a low point in your life. Tell me about that. Hi. I'm certain to go and bump into one of my friends who works at the, I've got a couple, one of my friends, bless him, works at Formula One racing team. I've forgotten which one it is. He got really good for him. Great. I really think, every time I think about it, I think how wonderful it is that, because he was into cars, he was a quiet sort of lad, and then all of a sudden just this remarkable, wonderful opportunity, and he's taken it, grabbed it with both hands, and he's got it. But I don't see him that often because he's off around working for Formula One and all that. But I'll tell you when I will see him is the day I've just lost my job. I used to have a hairdresser in town with my name on it, like that, my name on it. And then I had to take that down because I decided I'm not paying the rent anymore. This is finished. And I didn't want to go and walk past that building for a good year. It's me that used to be up there. See your old clients in town. Oh, hi, how you doing? How you doing? Oh, obviously I'm not cutting your hair anymore because I closed the business. Oh, I'm a loser. But instead, what I wanted to do was to build what we're doing now. I had a good think about what I really want to do in my life, and I want to do something different. And I build this, and then when I do see these people, I can say, oh, well, we're on this upward trajectory. I want to be a thing, and I'm not there yet, but I'm step by step, and this is going well. Come and join us. Now I'm ready. So we're out doing it. So yeah, it's absolutely fine to be in a cocoon. You can stay home for a bit. You can eat some ice cream. You deserve it, because the chuffers who, I'm not going to talk specifically about, what job it was or whatever, but, you've worked hard and you've not been rewarded with the reward of well done. I've no doubt that you've, put some of yourself into it, given it a chance, and now it's not work. Fuck them. You deserve some time off now. You deserve a break and recharge those batteries. Do the things that make you feel like you. Do the things that make you feel positive. Make sure that you're eating well. Make sure that it's difficult with this time of year and the sun and the sunlight and the bad weather and whatever. Make sure you're getting a walk. Make sure you're eating well. Make sure you're seeing that sunshine every day. Make sure that you've got the beginnings of a routine, because in the coming weeks you're going to be pen and paper designing your own life. You're going to be making your choices. You're going to be master of your own future. And so being fueled and ready is the most important thing. So it's absolutely fine to recharge, to watch the entire, I don't know how many episodes there are of The Walking Dead now. Probably The Sopranos. Probably watch The Sopranos. There's lots of lovely, yeah, you've got the chance now. It's an opportunity, isn't it? It's an opportunity in this beautiful world of opportunities. Everyone's had a difficult time with COVID. Some more difficult than others. This is what the world is about at the moment, isn't it? It's about peeping out. It's about coming out of hibernation. So it's okay to take another couple of weeks of hibernation. We're in the winter at the moment. Aim for the future. Don't have to do it today. Don't have to do it tomorrow. But it's coming that you're going to do it. So you're going to be working towards it. You're not going to be spiraling down some horrible dark hole of, I played Warcraft for 24 hours and I ate everything out of the freezer. Not going to be doing that. Going to give ourselves some time, some you time, some recharge time, some holiday time, some walk in the woods time, some whatever it is, because it's good for you. Enjoy some of the arts that make you feel. Enjoy the feelings when they come. Not the loser bit. I don't enjoy feeling like a loser. I self-examine, and that's helped to improve who I am, because otherwise I wouldn't just stay being the same person, wouldn't I? But I feel grateful for that as well, that the real losers are the ones who just stay the same for 50 years. It's okay to progress and develop, isn't it? Yeah, it's an exciting time for you. Make sure you learn to love it. And I say this as well. It's not masochistically, sadistically, but learn to love it, even though it's difficult and painful, because that is the life. That's the life. That's what this is. That's what it is. Right now there's some horrible stuff going on in the world. Right now there's some, pain in my own soul. But of a Sunday, Remembrance Sunday we just had, I had a little cry. Remembrance Sunday, remembering the people who lost their lives in the war. I had a little cry. It's not Remembrance Sunday now. You know, I've learned to let those feelings bubble up, and times where I want them to be released, I've learned to say, okay, this is a good time for that. I'm going to feel it. And feeling it is good. Feeling it's good. If you were to hit your hand with the hammer and nothing happened, you're numb. You know, there's no... That's not...
Hell yes. Takes the pressure off of me.
Thank you for your tippies. Thank you for your chippies. I totally appreciate them. You know, feeling it is important, isn't it? Because that is the life, isn't it? That's humanity. That's the beauty of your soul, is that you can feel these deep and powerful things, and that they even more special is that you can learn to find a way not just to control them so that they don't devastate you, because they can be, you know, really powerful, really devastating, but not just find a control so they don't devastate you, a self-discipline, some kind of way of working it through, of allowing things to pass, of giving yourself space and time. Not just that, but you're going to be able to harness them to achieve things that you never thought were possible. So it's silly for us to even pretend to set the goal, because you don't know you don't realize how far you can go. Whatever has been achieved in the world, whether it be climbing Mount Everest, whether it be landing on the moon, whether it be what you pick your thing that you think is extraordinary, that was just done by a person. That wasn't done by like some super person, some mega person. That was just done by a person and a team, usually, quite often a team of people, some help. But it was just people, and they struggled, and they thought, oh, I'm an idiot, and they lost jobs, and they were told no, and, you know, I don't remember any success stories of all the success stories that I feel in my heart like, wow, well done you. They're the people that got knockbacks, that got told no, that did it anyway, that followed their heart, aren't they? They're the ones that remember this day, that they remember this day as fuel, as motivation, that didn't want to talk to it, had the difficult conversation with their uncle, didn't allow it to just defeat them because they were prepared for it. Maybe found a new common ground somewhere. Maybe, you know, the conversation didn't go as bad as it needed to in the past, but maybe it did still not go well. But, you know, they look back on that in a year's time and said, you know, that's where we were, this is where we are now. You know, they're the success stories, and they're just the people. They're just people. They're just yous, they're just me's, they're just snippies, they're just Nigels, they're just people. Capital K's, we're all just people, aren't we? So it's this funny dichotomy, like two things at once, where you're nothing special, you're just some idiot, but you're absolutely remarkable and have a unique, powerful voice. So it's both things at the same time. If you don't believe me, you have to, because look at me. I'm just an idiot, you know. I see that on my face there. You can see it. You can. Don't tell me it's out of focus and you can't see it. Just there. It's just like a spot. I know it's there anyway. It was there last week and it's still there this week because I picked it. You're not supposed to... Yeah, of course, I'm going to be on the internet and my face. I picked it. And I'm picking it and I'm thinking, you don't pick this. That's not what you're supposed to do. But it starts, doesn't it? It's there and you can get your net and it just wants to be picked, doesn't it? Can you give it a squeeze as well? Go on then, you're chuffing squeezed. Oh dear. Oh dear. And this is me giving you the advice. So, you know, don't listen to me. I'm just an idiot. My fingers aren't dirty. My fingers are clean. I wash my hands all the time. Look at my nails. They've not been cut recently enough, so they're getting a little bit long. But look, there's not a speck of dust under them. I'm clean. I have to go picking up dog poos. My job's to be pretty on stream. My job's just to be on stream. I don't know. Never said anything about pretty. So I hope we've addressed something specific there. I think we have. And I think that some key takeaways are that you're going to go forward and you are going to be successful in something that you want to, you know, that you want. You're going to get something you want from this. And it's going to be difficult because nothing you want comes easy. Nothing ever Chuffing Well did. And that overall, we are grateful and lucky that we have people around us who care, even if they're confused about how to show it. And that we are going to be the people that break those chains in the future. And that when we have the opportunity to help someone along the way, we're going to absolutely go, oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this. This is peer-to-peer support. This is my opportunity to break that chain for someone. And then we're going to, generations are going to be improved. And that's what's happening, isn't it? That's the society. That's the world. This is the social media. This is the metaverse. Enjoy it. Eat chips. Chips are optional. Chips are optional. And I'm glad about that. I'm happy about that. I'm happy sometimes that it's a struggle, because it is the struggling that is the fun. Like, again, referring it to a computer game, but if you just had the cheat code, and like, if I was playing SimCity or whatever, SimCity is a game that I like, choose that. If I was playing SimCity and I started with infinite money and all the different things and all the buildings, and I just put them all in and there they are, well, what's the chuffing point? That's no fun, is it? Actually, what's fun is starting with really limited budget and eking it out and finding the right balance, and then putting the police station in when you need to, because the thing, and then the people are, God, there's a problem here that I'm going to put out a fire there, and all this, the problems and all the stress and the strategizing that you do to factor this in, to work that out, to eventually succeed and get the payoff of success. Like, if you have the success just dropped on you, you don't even feel it. You don't even know it. It just feels like it's boring almost. So it's actually the struggle that's the good bit. Not I say this, but it actually is. It actually is. Sitting on the result afterwards, being at the football match and watching them score the goals, biting my nails when the other team attack, worrying, cheering, the relief. But on the bus home, being 2-0 up, like, we're 2-0 up forever then, we've won. But the win, it is a thing, isn't it? It has lost some shine. The moment that we won, the cheering, the celebration, when the goal went in, when the keeper stopped that shot, those were the exciting, the visceral, the real, the things that we reacted, and we're in that was the life. We could lose 2-0. We could lose 2-0. I'm not going to cry about it all my life. At the time, it was disappointing and depressing. There's going to be another match next week, so I'm going to pick myself up and dust myself down. You be good, my little podcast. You be good. And if you can't be good, you're naughty.